Hey, look alive, look alive. Coach Mike the second here with another Bible study session where I use Bible study scriptures. We go over them and use them for real life application with the three considerations. Let's see what we have today. Let's get to work. I want to propose a question to you. All right. What is agape love? What is this agape type of love? Now, it's not to be confused with the eros type of love, which is the erotic type of love, the erotic, the husband and wife, the lovey-dovey type of love, right? Nor is it to be confused with phileo. Phileo is the buddy buddy showing preferential treatment to those who you like, right? Those who you are cool with, those who you are buddy buddy with, right? So it's not to be confused with these two different types of love because we have to understand sometimes love we define it in our own interpretation, right? And that's where the confusion can come in. The confusion comes in when we define love how we want to define it, how we want to do it, how we feel that it should be done, right? Those feelings need to pass so that we can develop an EI mindset, having emotional intelligence so we can manage our lives a little better. So our foundation scripture is going to come from First Corinthians chapter 13 verses 1, and this is what it reads. This is Paul's letter to the church in Corinth, and he's speaking to the church in Corinth, and he speaks in First Corinthians 13 and 1. He says, "Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not love, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal." Wait a minute, Paul. So Paul's letter, he's stating that even though I can speak with the knowledge and the tongues of men and of angels and this exoteric knowledge that I have, even though I can speak, in any crowd and any level, right? In any department, any position, I can speak to anyone because I can relate to the carnal mind or I can relate to the high righteous mind. I can relate to all. But if I don't have love, if I don't have this agape type of love, then whatever I'm speaking to you, you're not going to hear me anyway because I'm not showing love to you. I'm not being a loving type of person. I don't have love in me. So whatever I'm saying, whatever that I speak to you, it has no relevance. I'm just become a loud sounding brass. You ever heard brass? You ever go to a band and you see the cymbals clanging? That's what your language and your tongue will be to those who you do not have love within yourself. That's how you would look towards others. That's how you will become. So you can have knowledge up on top of knowledge, but if you're not having this agape type of love, then you're just being loud and blowing hot smoke. You're just in the way. So I want to go over three considerations about what this type of love is, about what agape is. So the first consideration is kindness. Second is forgiveness that we're going to go over. And then we're going to go over the last but not least is where does this agape start? There is always an origin to these type of things that we have to live by. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get to work with these three considerations. Team, kindness matters. Let's understand this. The first consideration is this agape love is kind. Kindness matters. You ever seen a balloon? I mean, it can be a small one, big one, doesn't matter. But you ever seen a balloon and when it's filled up with air, it's actually puffed up. It's blowing up. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So we have to understand this type of love is kind, and kindness is not a puffed up type of love. You see, the problem with this puffed up type of feeling, right? This puffed up type of feeling that we can have makes our head big, right? Like that balloon. This can kind of create, not really kind of, but it will create a self-righteous spirit within us. It makes you think that you're better than the next person. It makes you think that hey, I know more knowledge than you. I have more experience than you. So I'm going to look down my nose at you and I can't learn anything from you. It makes you look and down on those who may even make a mistake, becoming harsh with them, right? You don't have any kindness in your bone. You don't remember where you came from, right? You're up high on this mountain thinking that you're better than everybody else. So how you deal with everybody else is a harsh manner. And this is not this type of love at all. This is not the agape type of love. This love is kind and kind is patient. You know what patience does? Patience slows down the wrath that's within you, right? You got those anxiety emotions going on, riling up, building up like a volcano. Well, what patience does, it subsides that volcano. It keeps the eruption from happening, because love, it's not easily provoked. It doesn't take fences. It doesn't take offenses easily, right? It doesn't offend easily. It doesn't you can't provoke it with ease. And also too, we have to understand that it does not provoke. It doesn't go around bullying people. It doesn't go around trying to poke the bear and try to make something wake up to create drama in life. No, this agape love is kind. The second consideration that I want to go over here is that this agape type of love, it's forgiving. This can be a real tough one, but it's well needed, team. Is well needed, because what forgiveness does, it allows for mistakes. It allows those who are trying to develop themselves, right? It creates a safe space for that development, that you can make a mistake, but as long as you're trying to get back on the path of righteousness, as long as you're trying to be better than where you were from yesterday, this forgiveness allows that room for mistakes. Now, don't get it twisted. This forgiveness, in a sense, that creates a safe space for development. It's only there if you're trying to better yourself. It's only there if you're trying to develop and become better than where you were from yesterday. Don't get it twisted that you think forgiveness is a pushover. Don't think that forgiveness is just a doormat, right? Don't think you have to keep messing with those who create problems in your life. Take it for instance, if I allow you to hold my wallet, if I allow you to, I got some business going on, right? I got to do something. I'm finna work out, finna hoop or do something, and I allow you to hold my wallet. But every time I get my wallet back, I got $100 missing. Every time that I get my wallet back from you, I got $100 missing. Now, what I can do is I can blow up at you. I can really present a wrathful full feeling towards you, right? And true enough, I might talk to you a little bit, right? But in essence, I don't have to allow you to keep holding my wallet. This forgiveness does not allow for you to treat me as a doormat. It doesn't allow for others to treat you as a doormat. You have to understand that if you keep taking money from my wallet, guess what? I'm not going to allow you to hold my wallet again, because we do it for self. Forgiveness creates room for personal development. You see, what forgiveness does, it allows you to focus on what you need to do to get better. You're not focused on others. You're not focused on their failures, their faults, their mistakes, right? Their mishaps. No, you're focusing on what you need to do to be better, and that can come by forgiveness. When you forgive others of mistakes, you're not focused on the revenge. You're not focused on the aspect of, oh, I got to get somebody back, or I got to work this harder to just prove somebody wrong. No, when you forgive, it creates this safe space for you for personal development, so that you can focus on what you need to do to get better. And that leads into my third consideration, is where it all starts. You see, self work is the best work. Teamwork makes the dream work only if you are working. You see, this allows for internal reflection. When we love ourselves, when we agape ourselves, we're kind to ourselves. We're nice to ourselves. We're forgiving towards ourselves. We're being patient towards ourselves, towards the mistakes that we make. We're not beating ourselves up, because we have to understand is what pours out onto others is what you are filled up with. When people are mean and angry, when people are unkind to one another, you have to understand this. You have to, whatever pours out onto others, Whatever spills out onto others is what you have filled yourself up with. It can be through TV, it can be through music, it can be through your negative internal thoughts. So if we are not forgiving ourselves, if we are not loving ourselves, if we're not being kind to ourselves, then what we fill ourselves up with is what we're going to pour out onto others. You see, it starts with yourself. You can't love anybody else. Let me understand. Let me let you understand this. Understand this point. You cannot love anybody else if you do not love yourself first. You see, Messiah even says, if you the first and greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And the second is just like it to the first, to love your neighbor as you love yourself. It starts with self. You have to fill yourself up. You have to fill your cup up. You have to love yourself because what it does, it positions yourself to be on the same team with God. You see, if you can't love others whom you see every day, then how can you love God and whom you cannot see? But here's the key factor, the root of it. If you cannot love yourself, then how can you love others? Now, if you can't love yourself and you can't love others, then how can you love God? Team, we have to understand that this agape type of love that Paul is talking about here, it starts with self. It starts with that internal reflection. It starts with being kind and patient and learning to deal with your mistakes and being able to create a strategic plan from those mistakes. Not beating yourself up, not condemning your emotions, condemning your feelings. No, it's learning of yourself, being responsible for your actions and being able to get it right. So love must start with self. If we are going to love others, we have to love ourselves. If we're going to love God, then we have to love ourselves. Team, this has been brought to you by UCYBL Ministry, of 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization. Thank you so much for watching. Please visit us at unitedcybl.org. That's www.unitedcybl.org. Any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and drop them below. This is Coach Mike II. Remember that faith without works is dead. Love starts with self first. And we must worship the Most High God only, in Him only. Until next time, peace.